What is a predicate? Well, a predicate is part of a sentence. A sentence consists of two parts, a subject and a predicate. The predicate tells us what the subject does or is. So let's look at a simple example. The cat sat on the mat. Well, let's start by finding the subject. Well, we find the subject by finding the verb. The verb here is sat. The thing performing the verb is the cat. So the cat is the subject. Remember, the subject of a sentence is the thing that's performing the verb. It's what the sentence is about. Everything else here in blue is the predicate. It's telling us something about the subject. At the heart of every predicate is a verb. Let's look at another example. I am too small for my weight. Right, let's find a subject. Well, there's the verb. What's performing that verb? Well, it's I. So here, the subject of this sentence is I. Everything else is the predicate. And look, there's a verb at the heart of this predicate, as there always is. Let's look at another example. This one has got two sentences in it. Well, let's start by finding the verb to help us find the subject. Well, there's the verb, there's the subject. Everything else is the predicate. Let's look at the second one. Verb, subject, predicate. In the examples so far, all the subjects have been single words. Well, clearly that's not always the case. So look at this example. There's our verb. The subject is organized people. The bit in blue, the predicate, tells us something about organized people. Yellow, subject, blue, predicate. Sometimes finding the verb is a little bit tricky, and finding the subject is a little bit tricky. So let's look at this example. Well, when you examine it, you'll see that tried is the verb, and the subject is whoever said nothing is impossible. Everything else is the predicate. In the examples we've seen so far, all of the subjects have been at the start of a sentence. Well, that's not always the case. Look at this example. There's our verb, there's our subject, and everything else is the predicate. In this example, the predicate is split by the subject. That's not that unusual. So, to summarize, the predicate is the part of the sentence that tells us what the subject does or is. Or if we want to put that another way, the predicate is everything that is not the subject. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out some of our other videos on grammarmonster.com. You'll also find us on Twitter and on Facebook.